Good morning. Let's see. Arrive alive in 2025. So, this week's video is you're going to get to see me in all my glory. This is what I look like actually most days now. Um, no makeup, still in my robe and pajamas. It's been an interesting journey. And starting November 8th, that was my last full day that I was able to be in a classroom teaching. So, as I often say, I finally broke. It's interesting when you think about that term, broke. I'm broken. I've thought about that a lot, and I've seen a lot of things online about, when you're broken, you can be put back together in a better way. The Japanese take the pottery and they put it back together with gold. And I think those are all beautiful. And I believe in all of that. And I feel like this is the journey that I'm on right now to being put back together in a way that is going to be good for me. It's going to be healthy. And it's going to help me move into that next phase of life. Today's topic, as you saw probably in the comments, was agoraphobia. So I'm going to move this microphone a little bit closer. Testing. Hopefully it's working. Well, here's the definition of agoraphobia. Oxford. Extreme or irrational fear of entering open or crowded spaces, of leaving one's own home, or of being in places from which escape is difficult. I would say that all of those things apply to me. Not always to an extreme. I have seen the extreme with my mom. She became very agoraphobic probably about the last 10 years of her life, maybe 15, but it got worse because she was afraid for a lot of reasons, to leave the house. I don't really want to go into details because, that was a private matter for her, but it was crippling. She wouldn't go to church. She wouldn't go to the library. She started having someone get groceries for her and pick up her medications when she was having a good day, which, there were rare days when she was still driving that she would go out. And when she did go out, she felt great. And I just kept thinking, Mom, why don't you do that more? And she just was having a difficult time with that. And as I now am going through some of that, I'm starting to understand better what was happening with her. So I would say the biggest issue for me right now is that I live in a place where I'm pretty isolated. We live kind of up in the mountains, and we have one car. And when Tim goes to work, it's about a half hour drive to work and then a half hour back. So that's an hour round trip. Most people would think, oh, that's no big deal. And it's like, it is. It's a lot of time and it's a lot of driving in a very stressful situation because you have to be on the freeway. And the drivers here are aggressive. We'll just put it that way. So that being said, I often will choose to just not go anywhere and I'll just stay here. And I've been doing that a lot to the point where finally I had my doctor said, You've got to get out of the house 2 days a week. And I tried that last week to like make it's like the first of the year. I'm going to get out of the house and I'm going to go be in town and I'm going to go do things and I'm going to make appointments and stuff. And I tried. The first day was really stressful getting out of the house. I had an agenda. I made a plan because I need that schedule. And I got my hair cut, didn't make it to a yoga class, which honestly, I didn't really want to go to a yoga class. So it was kind of a good, bad thing. But then what ends up happening is that I don't have anything else to do. So I end up spending most of my time sitting in the car waiting for Tim to get off work, scrolling, playing games, sleeping. That's not really healthy either. Another reason why I have gotten a little bit more agoraphobic is because we live in a very small community. You say, what do you mean you live in a small community? You live out in the mountains, you're in a foreign country. Yes, but the reason I'm here is because I was working with a small community of American children. And because of that, that's been my comfort zone. That's been my safe place. That's where I know people. And because I no longer have that community, by choice or not by choice. Right now, it's a kind of a mix of both. I don't have that. And if I do go out and mix in that community, I run into people who have a lot of questions about what's going on with me right now. And I don't want to talk about it. And I don't want to share a lot of details about that for a lot of reasons, which I won't be sharing here as well yet until I'm ready. And then you feel like you kind of have to explain yourself and put on that facade. And most days I'm not ready to do that. I did that for a really long time, especially the last 2 years. And my mind and my body finally just said, no more. You can't do it anymore. You got to stop. And so I did. So going out into the community where we live, which again is my safe space, theoretically, the only space I have, the only community I have, I end up having to feel like I got to explain myself, or what I do most of the time is just run and hide. I run into the post office and then I run back out. I run into the grocery store and then I run back out. I run into the store and I run back out. And I avoid. I actually spend a lot of my time trying to just avoid people in any of those circumstances. The one place that I really do like to go is the Arts and Crafts Center about once a month, just to have a little art therapy and create something. And it's just kind of a happy place for me, and I can go in the back room and just kind of hide. But there is someone that works there that knows me through my work community, and they wanted to engage in conversation. Oh, you're back. I can't wait to tell so-and-so I saw you. And it's like, no, I'm really not back. And please don't talk to people and say anything, because When someone is suffering from something you can't see, uh, they don't always look sick to you. They don't always look like they're suffering to outsiders. Uh, so what ends up happening is people start presuming and assuming and making and drawing their own conclusions about things. And that's been a big part of what I've been scared of. And so for those two reasons, I have become kind of agoraphobic in that I don't want to leave the house. Uh so, there's only so much you can do when you're stuck in a house. You can laundry, you can clean, you can cook, you can play piano, you can make videos, you can do some painting because I do have some arts and crafts stuff here. You can start sorting through things and cleaning out stuff and organizing. But after a while, it gets old. It gets boring. You get lonely. And my husband worries about me, rightfully so. So, um, yesterday was one of those days that I had kind of a day. And he came home and he said, "So, what'd you do today? And how was your day?" And then he wanted to talk about it a lot. And I was like, I just really didn't want to talk about it. But I know it worries him. And I'm not worried per se because I do still uh, make efforts to get out and talk to people. We went out this past weekend with a couple of friends that know what's going on because we've kind of kept our circle small. And but there when other people come into the picture, I feel like I have to put on a facade. And then I kind of get drawn into the old me where I overshare and I don't have boundaries and I end up saying a bunch of stuff that I probably shouldn't say and I don't have a filter and then I have a lot of regrets afterwards. And that happened over the weekend. And I just did not, after that experience, I said to Tim, I said, you know what? That was not a good experience. And that was not a situation I needed to be in yet. I wasn't ready for that, obviously, because I ended up kind of reverting back to my old coping mechanisms, which were to, like I said, overshare, not have a filter, and and then I end up kind of getting into a negative rhetoric about the blame game and the anger that's associated with that. Things that I thought I was through, but because I haven't had the occasion to be in a situation where I've had to show and use new skills that I'm learning, I haven't practiced. So that's probably part of the reason why my doctor's like, "You need to get out 2 days a week." But in that same sentence, she also said, "But you don't need to be putting yourself in situations that you're not comfortable with," and I shouldn't be. So, I'm still trying to figure out how that's gonna happen for the next however many months that I'm here and, working through that. I will say this, I don't like crowds either most of the time. Loud noises and people that I don't know shoving me around is not my happy place. So I don't like going to events where there's a lot of people, usually. Music events, I'm usually okay with that. And shopping with a lot of people. This is why I have come to realize why they have those twilight hours for senior citizens at shopping centers with those senior discounts early in the morning. It's like, get up, go shopping when there's nobody there. It's like, that is my happy place if I have to go shopping. So, um, this is my this is my reality right now. I am working through it, and I'm hoping that things will get easier. I know that when I am around my family and my community back home, I it's very different. It's just very different. I think. I mean, it is usually. Since November, I haven't had a chance to do that. So I haven't seen. Well, I saw my daughter, and I think that that was a healthy, fun, comfortable time spent with her. But what I was saying was that my community and my family back home, I think that I won't have the same issues with not wanting to be around people, because my only relationship that I have with the people here, I I, I don't really have good friends or close friends. I have colleagues. I had students. I had parents. I had bosses. But that's it. I mean, just nobody that was just a close community of friends. And I don't really know why that is, but that seems to follow me around everywhere I move. The only time that that's been different is when we are back home and we had the community choirs or we had church. Those communities seem to be genuine, and I haven't been able to create or recreate that anytime that we've moved and lived overseas. It's just been colleagues and students and parents. And being in the unique community that we're in, there's a huge turnover rate. And so people just move in and out constantly. And so there's this constant flux of people, and you just never have a chance to really have those close relationships with people. And if you do, it's unique, but 9 times out of 10, people move. So there's today's post on agoraphobia. I guess I should hashtag community, because without community, it's lonely. So find people that you have something in common with. Create healthy relationships, even if they're short-lived. You know, people come in and out of our lives for a reason. Okay, I'm trying not to I'm not trying to sing a song or quote lyrics here, but they do. And if you can hang on to those relationships for as long as they're supposed to be there, and it might just be for a season, it might be forever. But I do have a hard time with that, and so that's something I'm learning, something new. So you can, when they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, I don't think that that's true in the case of human beings. If you don't continue to learn and grow from your mistakes and move forward without looking back. Don't look back. Don't look back. It's a bad thing. You don't want to turn into a pillar of salt. hopefully, that will be, uh, that will be the case with me. Moving forward, not looking back, not taking situations and people for granted, and for every commu person in your community or every relationship that you have with another human being, albeit, a day, a month, um, cherish it for what it is. If it's not healthy, if it's not meant to be, then it'll naturally take its course. If you allow it, you have to keep an open eye and an open heart and an open mind and allow relationships to be what they're supposed to be. And if they're supposed to go bye-bye, you gotta let it go. No, I'm still not quoting lyrics from a song, although that happens a lot in our family. So, I'm signing off. Arrive alive in 2025. Today's topic was community with agoraphobia, fear of crowds, fear of people, fear of leaving your home, and loneliness. So, hopefully, we can continue to move through this and see you next time.